12 years after the Libyan revolution, and despite the persistent negotiations and initiatives, political tensions in the country remain high, creating major legitimacy crisis, in addition to the widespread public frustration. Thus, in the event that the dispute continues between the State Council and the House of Representatives, Abdoulaye Bathily will be forced to put forward an initiative in which he aimed at enabling the organization and holding off presidential and legislative elections. Earlier, Bathily briefed the UN Security Council, Antonio Guterres, in New York about his willing to launch this Libyan high-level panel for elections.
I've decided to launch an initiative aimed at enabling the organization and holding of presidential and legislative elections in 2023. This panel would be responsible for facilitating the adoption of a legal framework and a roadmap associated with a timetable for the holding of elections in 2023, and advancing a consensus around related issues, such as security elections and the adoption of a code of conduct for candidates.
According to Bathily, the mechanism would bring together all relevant Libyan actors, including representatives of political institutions together, and hope the elections could unify the divided nation.
The proposed mechanism will bring together all relevant Libyan stakeholders, including representatives of political institutions, major political figures, security officials, tribal leaders, civil society organizations, security actors, women, and youth representatives.
As the continuous tensions between the Supreme Court, the Parliament, and other active institutions in the scene got worse again, the UN envoy opened fire on the Consultative State Council and the House of Representatives from inside the Security Council, stressing that they had not succeeded until today on agreeing on a constitutional basis for holding elections.
To date, the political process remains protracted and falls short of the aspirations of Libyans who seek to elect their leaders and reinvigorate their political institutions.
During last week's meeting of the African Union's high-level Committee on Libya, Antonio Guterres pointed out that the external interference has fueled Libya's descent into conflict. So far, the plan seems vague and more details are needed because the efforts to bring together various Libyan parties were taken before, yet they failed. So the hopes are high, and everyone wants to understand what's really different in this initiative.